Hey guys, thanks for joining us again. We're here for our third week. It's flying by, it seems like, our third week of our Bible studies here on Thursdays. I'm Youth Pastor Zack. I got Ethan here again with us. It's been a good time. I'm hoping you guys are enjoying this. We greatly enjoy it. Just me and him getting to talk for a little bit, and I hope you guys are enjoying getting a little bit of word out of this and a little bit of encouragement and help and guidance. So we're here today. Ethan's picked out this great lesson today. I know it's going to help somebody. A lot of people are struggling with this situation. So Ethan, why don't you go ahead and take it away with us?
Yeah, so we're going to be talking about frustration and bitterness and kind of dealing with those kinds of feelings, those kinds of thoughts during this just very weird, hectic season in our lives. And it's very easy to get caught up in those feelings right now. When you can't go to your kids' ball games, or you can't go to the movies or to the gym, or just do what you would normally do, what you want to do, And, whether you're caught in the house, or you're on the front lines of this pandemic in the medical field, or you're an essential worker or a retailer like me or somebody like that, you've probably felt a lot of those feelings of frustration and sometimes bitterness. And frustration itself, it's such a yucky feeling, because it just feels like all of your inner wires, spiritual and emotional, they just all kind of feel jumbled around. And it's feelings like this, that can cause a lot of dysfunction in life. And frustration, a lot of times it can be fertile ground for bitterness to sprout from, and resentment towards people who have either done you wrong or who are better off than you, and you compare yourself to during things that happen in life during this season. But let me just tell you, that these are both feelings that I have struggled with in my life, even during this pandemic, and feelings that I battle with and that I wage war with in my life. And I have to make the effort to set my mind on what is peaceful, what is good, what is pure, all those different things that Scripture talks about, because I know that if I don't, then my mind, my attitude of peace, it could all spiral out of control at any given day. And as an essential worker, as a retailer, during this whole thing, it's very easy for me to look at the negative. When customers line up at my register and they're rude, or when, I have negativity around me every day, or when people come in my store and knock things off the shelves, or just violating the new CDC guidelines, stay 6 feet apart or whatever, or, I could look out and see all my friends and things going out and doing things and ignoring the stay indoor orders, and I don't want to put myself at risk or my loved ones, so I stay away. So, there's all kinds of different ways that we could choose to become dissatisfied. We could look at the government. We could be dissatisfied with what they're doing in this situation. We could go to social media and complain about it. But then what value does that all really add to this, right? It's so easy to become bitter. There are so many things that we can pick out and choose that can make us become bitter. It is so easy to be bitter. There are calls to bitterness that I have to resist and proactively challenge every day in my life, because feelings of frustration with your situation, if not dealt with, can easily become the grounds of bitterness. Zach, what do you think about that?
Yeah, and I completely agree. Listen, we have to understand when we talk about our feelings, we have to understand that feelings are not always the facts, but also feelings aren't faith, right? Just because, God may feel silent, us going through this time right now, and maybe it feels like, a lot of people ask, where's God at? Why is he allowing this to happen? And when we may feel like that he is silent in this moment, just because we may feel he's silent does not mean that God is absent. It doesn't mean he's absent, man. God's still doing things. Man, I have seen so many churches, unifying, and I've seen so many people, posting good things, and just whether it be, spiritual things or just helping other people, helping their neighbors. Man, I've seen so much, and God works through each of those things too. God's still working, but I know that, when it's frustrating and it's discouraging, and if you allow that, those feelings can easily turn into bitterness when what you see with your eyes, it doesn't always line up with what you believe in your heart. What we see in this world that's going on, and sometimes we know, God's good, but times right now, not all the time are good. We see a lot of good, but it's not, we would say good times. So we always have to remember that feelings, while, legitimate at points, are not the facts. Feelings are not always the facts, but when we are battling the feelings of bitterness and frustration, we need to know that there are seasons in life that, while at times will be unpleasant and frustrating and difficult in life, we all go through these seasons of life. Yes, we're all going through this one season of coronavirus and being at home and things like that. But I mean, there's other things that people are going through right now that we understand, and a lot of us are going through too. There's financial problems. There's spiritual things going on. There's emotional things going on. There's a lot of things going on. And while we all go through seasons in life, we have to understand the Bible tells us some good news about seasons in life. The good news is no season lasts forever. Listen, whatever you're going through, it will not last forever. No season lasts forever. Listen, if you don't like the season that you're in whatever area, emotionally or financially or spiritually, whatever area, listen, just smile and know that God's with you, and just wait, because I promise you another season is coming. They're always coming. There is another season coming. The Bible says, as long as the earth remains, that the seasons will change. But the temptation is, our temptation while going through feelings of frustrated and discouraged and all these things, the temptation is that we blame God and walk away from him. Whenever we feel the heat going on in our life, whenever things are feeling pressured and frustration. But listen, God wants us to learn through our experiences and not become bitter, but become better. If God, listen, God can teach us a lot of things, while we're being separated, and there's a lot of things. I mean, there's so much time to grow some good roots down in your life in different areas. Romans 8:28, we know that the Bible says that all things, and that means good and bad, that they work together for our good and for God's glory. And there's a condition on that says, if we love the Lord. Like, it's for those who give their whole hearts to God, that he will work all things, good and bad, for our good and his glory. When we're in, the heat of life and we're feeling frustrated, but we're trying to focus on God and we're submitting to him, we can turn that frustration into faith, to fuel for our faith. Because we can end up saying things like, God, you bring resurrection from crucifixions. God, you turn darkness into light in my life. God, you've brought hope out of complete despair. See, the key is that we understand that it's all things working together, the good and the bad working together. Because listen, I heard this, really corny analogy, but it works pretty well. If you eat Crisco, if you just eat just Crisco, it is disgusting, yuck, you'll probably throw up. If you would just eat raw eggs, I mean, some people do it, but I can't. It's disgusting. I'm just saying it's disgusting. Or if you just take some pure salt in, man, it's bitter. It's bitter. And if you just eat just dry flour, you'll choke, right? Or if you just drink a little bottle of pure vanilla, I mean, you'll be sick to your stomach. But if you work all those things, the Crisco and the eggs and the salt and the flour and the vanilla, you work it all together and you put the heat on it, man, it comes out to be an amazing cake. And I'm making myself hungry right now. I'm pretty hungry. Listen, the point is, that little analogy, corny thing, the point is, there are experiences in life that we have to go through. It's a part of life. We all go through seasons that are bitter. But when we give those to God and we put it in his hands and we submit and say, God, man, I'm nothing without you. I'm giving you every part of this good season or this bad season in life. Good times, good can come out of those even hard times, and God gets the glory. It's for our good. We learn through our experiences, and we won't become bitter, but we will become better through it. So the key is for me in this, focusing on the right things, even while going through hard times. Ethan, what else you got there?
Yes, I mean, absolutely. There are calls to frustration and to bitterness in our lives, but then there are also calls to patience and peace.
Yes.
And that's kind of my main point for today is the cure to frustration is patience, and the cure to bitterness is peace and sometimes forgiveness. Because remember what I said last time, while our world is dealing with a physical sickness, we need to be doing all we can to deal with our spiritual sickness, because if we live with frustration and bitterness, then we're sure to cause dysfunction to our own lives as well as complicate the lives of everybody around us. Hebrews 12:15 puts it perfectly. It says, look after each other so that none of you fails to receive the grace of God. Watch out that no poisonous root of bitterness grows up to trouble you, corrupting many. I want to repeat that last sentence. It says, watch out that no poison or root of bitterness grows up to trouble you, corrupting many. So that tells us two different things about bitterness. It tells us that bitterness can grow and bitterness can spread. So when you allow inner frustrations to lay dormant in you and you don't deal with them, they begin to fester. And like you always say, Zach, sin grows best in the dark. When frustration builds up, it will seek an outlet. It'll eventually turn into bitterness. And you'll resent people for the inconvenience that they've put on your life. You'll resent God for allowing your life to look like this. You'll resent life itself for being the way it is. And then you'll gossip, and then others around you will gossip, and they'll grow bitter, and it just multiplies.
Yeah.
This type of bitterness, it does nothing for you but takes up space in your mind and hurts everybody around you. But you can choose this day to be free of that. So when frustration comes your way, remind yourself of this verse, because this has helped me. Galatians 6, verse 9, New Living Translation says, so let's not get tired of doing what is good. At just the right time, we will reap a harvest of blessing if we don't give up. Other translations say, don't grow weary of doing good, because God notices when you're being faithful, when you're doing good, when you're keeping the faith. God notices. And even if nobody around you sees what you're going through, the hours that you put in at the job, the hardship you go through financially, the sweat and tears that you put into parenting or teaching or leading or ministering or whatever it is you do, God absolutely 100% notices and takes notes of it. But here's the thing. If we want to crush frustration where it begins, then we have to learn patience. Patience that this will get better. Patience that this too shall pass. Like you said, it's a season. Patience that the revelations that we need will be shown to us. Things will eventually make sense to us. God will reveal his plan. And then Ecclesiastes chapter 7, verse 9, it says, do not be eager in your heart to be angry, for anger dwells in the heart of fools. And then another verse, Philippians 4:8. This is a key verse to beating this thing. And it says, finally, believers, whatever is true, whatever is honorable and worthy of respect, whatever is right and confirmed by God's word, whatever is pure and wholesome, whatever is lovely and brings peace, whatever is admirable and of good repute, if there is any excellence, if there is anything worthy of praise, think continually on these things, center your mind on them, and implant them in your heart. It's Philippians 4:8. And I love where it says, this is the Amplified, it says, center your mind on them, implant them in your heart. So it takes daily meditation on God's word and a ceaseless kind of prayer, consistency, that kind of a prayer life to implant those things into my heart, to develop a new mindset, a new attitude, a new perspective of all of this. And lastly, be at peace with others. Yeah. Right? It's so easy to grow to hate somebody, to resent them in the midst of a pandemic that all of us are going through and all of us are having trials and tribulations through. But when I approach a conflict with the intention in mind that I am going to insert peace into this situation, then it is much, much harder to hate that person. And one of my favorite authors, Erwin McManus, he's the pastor of Mosaic Church over in California. He says in his book, The Way of the Warrior, which is a great book, he says, the world is at war because we are at war. Every war with another person is a war that should never have been fought. It should have been won long before. It should have been won from within. This is our first battle. So realize that oftentimes your hatred of another person is just a reflection of pain that you are experiencing within your own heart. Sometimes it seldom has anything to do with that other person. War emerges from within. So the cure to bitterness in this scenario, it's peace. And then in others, forgiveness. So choose to be love in that situation. And when you do that, not only does that war within you get won, but it prevents future wars from being spawned. I think that's it for us today. We hope you guys enjoyed another one of these studies. I know me and Zach are having fun doing them. Just remember, the cure to frustration and bitterness, it's peace, it's patience. Remember that no season lasts forever. We will get through this, guys. We love you all. Stay safe, and God bless.
Bye, guys.